Hello and welcome to Hill and Ponton's Social Security Disability blog. I'm Natalia, Jofre, the Social Security Director.
And I'm Shelly, the Senior Social Security Attorney.
So as you know, we normally do series on different topics, and our next topic is going to be listings, Social Security Disability listings specifically. And you're probably asking yourself, what is a listing? What does that term mean? And Shelly will fill you in on that.
So a listing is basically, I guess you can think of it almost as like a statute, that Social Security uses. And every medical condition that you could possibly think of, whether it's physical or mental, has a listing. And basically the listing says that if you're diagnosed with this disorder and it rises to the severity of A, B, C, and D, that you're disabled. And that means at that point, they're not going to be looking at your past work. They're not going to be looking at your age. They're not going to be looking at any of that. It's a matter of you meeting the listing and you're disabled and there are no other questions asked.
Wow, that's amazing. So if you meet it exactly, pretty much there's no other questions. You're automatically approved, or at least you're supposed to be automatically approved. That's always the kicker, because
that is the kicker.
How things are supposed to be and how things actually are in the real world are two totally different things. But that's actually even how you get a lot of cases won at hearing, right?
Most definitely. It's an easier way to have a case approved, obviously, because there aren't any other questions as far as the past work and the age and all of that. Sometimes it's difficult to get Social Security to listen to us and actually properly evaluate whether a client meets a listing.
Right.
Sometimes that's the harder battle.
Right. Is your perception or the way you interpret certain evidence and versus maybe the way a disability examiner or the judge interprets the evidence, because it's not always that black and white, right?
Exactly. And really, whether or not a person meets a listing should really be decided by a doctor. We can allege that someone meets a listing, but to come to that conclusion, it should really be a doctor. So in a lot of cases, we really need a medical expert at the hearing to provide testimony. And sometimes that's really hard to get.
Yeah. I just want to clarify, too, that when we're talking about you automatically qualifying based on meeting a listing, that is based on your medical, on the medical findings. So in other words, we've discussed in the past how you have to meet certain medical and non-medical requirements. The medical, of course, being the evidence supporting that you, in fact, have this disability and severity, which entitles you to benefits. And then there's the non-medical. And the non-medical is, income for SSI cases, or having worked and paid enough into Social Security tax for Social Security regular disability cases, or in the case of a child, that they don't meet the same standards as a child their same age that's not disabled, or DAC, that you are were disabled prior to age 22. So anyway, all of those variables, those non-medical or technical requirements still have to be met.
Right.
So even if you meet a listing and you should be found disabled, you still have to meet the non-medical in order to actually get benefits. So I just wanted to clarify that.
That's very true.
I've also the term about meeting or equaling a listing, because that gets used a lot too.
Right.
So can you explain that a little bit?
It's a little bit subjective as far as an application, but it is true that you can meet or equal a listing. So basically what it means is that technically by the book, you may not exactly meet the listing, but you may be so close, or you may have other medical conditions that you're being treated for to where the doctors will say that you equal it. Basically, they're saying that you're close enough to meeting it that they're going to go ahead and say that you're disabled under the listing.
Okay, great. Well, we're going to keep talking about different listings, and we're going to start getting into actual specifics about based on different conditions, and then also certain case examples, which those are also fun, so that you can see how the listings actually get applied. In the meantime, if you have any questions or concerns, feel free to call our office or visit our website.
Thank you.